All right, it's the Bristol cutoff race. Find out which driver is going to win and which drivers are going to be left behind. All that and more coming up next. All right, let's look at who's going to win this thing first. So let's start with average finish, and with an average finish of a 5.33, Kyle Busch is your leader on average finish. Kyle Larson is second with a 7.25. Kurt Busch is third with a 9.3. Joey Logano is fourth with a 10.67, and Denny Hamlin fifth with a 12.0. Kevin Harvick, Ryan Newman, Eric Jones, Daniel Suarez, and Austin Dillon round out your top 10 on average finish. Next on the list are wins, and with 2 wins, and all this, of course, is in the last 6 races. If you haven't watched the show before, I always do the last 6 races. With the most wins, 2 for Kyle Busch. Kurt Busch with 1 win, Brad Keselowski with 1 win, Kevin Harvick with 1 win, and Denny Hamlin also has 1 win in Bristol. All right, now on to laps led. And once again, Kyle Busch is at the top of the list with 477. Ryan Blaney with 439. Brad Keselowski with 395. Chase Elliott with 294. Kyle Larson with 279. Kevin Harvick with 262. Joey Logano with 244. And Denny Hamlin rounds out your significant lap leaders with 222 laps led at Bristol. All right, so if you haven't guessed it by now, your clear favorite by the numbers has to be Kyle Busch. But if you combine all these numbers and you want to look at who's actually second as far as what pundits would call power rankings, it's actually going to be Kyle Larson would be your second best driver at this track, followed by Joey Logano, Chase Elliott, Ryan Blaney. Ryan Blaney is a sneaky one because he's had a lot of DNFs here, but his numbers are good when he finishes. Also, Kevin Harvick, Brad Keselowski, Denny Hamlin, and Kurt Busch are also on that list of favorites, but by the numbers, it has to be Kyle Busch. Your sleepers for this particular race, some names actually are going to jump out that you wouldn't think of. Kurt Busch would be the first one. Kurt Busch has won a race here, but you don't really, people just never give this guy a chance. He's an amazing driver, and this is one of his tracks, so he has to be a sleeper here. Ryan Newman actually has really good finishes here. He could pull off an upset and win, be a non-playoff driver. Eric Jones has great finishes here as well, and so does Daniel Suarez and Austin Dillon. Don't be surprised to see that Trackhouse car running up front. They're going to be a Tennessee-based team eventually, so this is going to be a big race for them, so look out for Suarez in this race as a sleeper as well. So last week, the numbers told me to pick Martin Truex, and I should have picked him because he won the race. This week, the numbers are telling me to pick Kyle Busch. So you'd think I would learn my lesson and pick Kyle Busch to win this race, but I'm not. I think Kyle Busch is going to play it conservative here and just point his way into the playoffs. I think the winner of this race is going to be one of 4 people. I think Ryan Blaney, Chase Elliott, Joey Logano, or Kyle Larson is going to win this race. And without further ado, let me put the hat on of who I think the winner will be. That's right. I think Kyle Larson wins his first playoff race of this season and gets a little bit momentum going into the next round of the playoffs. But don't count out those Penske cars because they have a lot of speed here. All right, on to who is going to be the last 4 out. All right, so Martin Truex Jr., Denny Hamlin are both locked in via wins. Kyle Larson locked himself in via points. Joey Logano is basically locked in at plus 40. He would have to have a horrific race, and somebody else would have to have a great race to knock him out. So he's basically locked in. He's basically safe. But from 5th all the way to 13th is only 28 points, and it's only 32 points from 14th to 5th. And William Byron is only minus 18 out to get into the playoffs, and Michael McDowell was the only one who was in a technical must-win situation at minus 38. So with that being said, let's look at the numbers as to who is most likely going to be getting into the playoffs, or advancing into the next round of the playoffs, I should say. Okay, so I'm going to just show you my sheet here, and basically what this sheet is their position in the points as it is, how many points they are above the cutoff line or below the cutoff line, and their average finish at this track. And the final outcome is sort of like your golf score. You want the lowest number possible. So with that being said, the guy with the best chance of getting in here is Joey Logano, followed by Kevin Harvick, Ryan Blaney, and Chase Elliott. Kyle Busch is your fifth best. Christopher Bell, Brad Keselowski, Kurt Busch, and Alex Bowman will be your last driver in. And Eric Almirola, Tyler Reddick, William Byron, and Michael McDowell will be your last drivers out, according to the numbers, according to the system I made up. But with that being said, Christopher Bell and Tyler Reddick both only have 2 races here. And Christopher Bell's got a pretty good chance, as long as nothing goes wrong, to get in. But Tyler Reddick could be the wild card here. He could be the guy that upsets this whole deal. He could be the guy that knocks out Alex Bowman or Kurt Busch or Brad Keselowski. One of those guys, if they have a bad race, Tyler Reddick could be the guy to get in because he's only -5 right now. And he does have a good finish here. Let me look at this list here and see. Yeah, he finished 4th here in one of these races. So if he pulls that off again, he will definitely get into the playoffs. And what also I didn't factor in here is your stage points, which I hate, but whatever. If some of these guys rack up some stage points and just get a decent finish, this could flip this thing anyway. But just going by the numbers alone, that's who's going to get in and who is going to be out. All right, guys, that is all I've got for you today. If you like the content, please subscribe down below. I really appreciate it. And if you got something to leave in the comments, that I missed something, is it something I should have talked about, or is it something you want me to talk about, or just something you want to get off your chest, leave it down in the comments. I love to read the comments. And other than that, thanks for your time. Peace.